Tonight at 10, ready to run. Former President Trump officially announcing another bid for the White House.
A missing South Florida woman now feared dead, and officials still need a key piece of evidence.
Cartwright's comments, what the superintendent said after the Broward School Board voted to fire her.
Developing out of Poland, a NATO country. Officials there say a Russian-made missile killed 2 people. Good evening, I'm Louis Aguirre.
And I'm Eden Shackle. The news at 10 is next.
WPLG, Local 10 News on WSFL starts right now.
Well, we just held the midterm elections, and now we are already talking about Vote 2024, and that is because former President Trump announced tonight that he is ready to run for the White House again. He made the announcement at his Mar-a-Lago resort.
This will be his 3rd bid for the White House. Local 10's Nicole Perez is in the newsroom. Nicole.
Very early bid, Eden and Louis. Former President Donald Trump has launched another run for the presidency, promising supporters he will make America great and glorious again. He filed the paperwork with the Federal Election Commission today to declare himself a candidate for 2024, just hours before his speech. Trump walked into the ballroom at Mar-a-Lago with Melania Trump. They were presented as the next president and first lady of the United States of America. Trump has been speaking for about an hour, touching on issues from immigration to China to drugs and inflation, blaming Democrats and Joe Biden for most of the country's problems. He spoke at length about how the country was economically sound at its best under his leadership. Eden, I'll send it back to you.
Okay, Nicole, thank you. Senator Rick Scott will reportedly challenge Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell for Senate leadership next year. He would be the first real challenger McConnell has faced in his time as GOP leader. Scott has little chance of actually succeeding, but it would be seen as a protest vote. Senate Republicans are expected to hold leadership elections on Wednesday.
A case of a missing South Florida woman is now a murder case. The victim's estranged husband is now in custody, but officials still need a key piece of evidence. Local 10's Christian La Rosa is live near Fort Lauderdale with an update on this story. Christian.
You can see the blue lights behind me. The Broward County Sheriff's Office is still at the home of the victim, the same home that she shared with her estranged husband and now murder suspect, as investigators are still trying to find her body.
A hearing today to decide whether the social media model arrested in connection with the stabbing death of her boyfriend should be allowed bond. Local 10's Terrell Forney is live in Miami to tell us what happened in court today. Terrell.
Hours of testimony here inside of the courtroom today. That hearing wrapped up earlier this evening. The defendant at the center of this case has a very serious second-degree murder charge against her, and part of what prosecutors presented during their time in front of the judge was a history of domestic violence.
Developing out of Poland, a missile strike near the border with Ukraine killed 2 people, and new tonight, Polish officials say the missile is Russian-made. And President Biden saying tonight that it is unlikely that the missiles were actually fired from Russia, but he did call an emergency meeting with G7 and NATO leaders to discuss what to do next.
New details tonight about the superintendent's stunner last night in Broward County. Dr. Vicki Cartwright speaking out today after the board voted to fire her. Local 10's Hatzel Vela reports.
Hatzel, thank you. Coming up, shocking video sent to Local 10 showing boaters trashing an island in Biscayne National Park.
And new video from the scene of a tragic crash that left a child dead. A driver slamming into the boy and his dad as they were trying to help another driver who was stuck. It's a Local 10 exclusive.
And a grieving mother putting up a big reward for whoever can help police catch her son's killer.
You're watching Local 10 News on WSFL with Louis Aguirre and Eden Sheckle.
A little Tallahassee and West Palm, Miami and Tampa. Where you live and where you play is all connected with Florida 24. Discovering all of Florida.
Florida 24 is sponsored by New South Window Solutions.
WSFL-TV, celebrating 40 years of entertaining South Florida.
Trash, trouble in Biscayne Bay, where boaters were caught on camera dumping trash on an island inside a national park. And we're not just talking about a couple of bags of garbage either. Now to a Local 10 exclusive, we're seeing new video from the scene of a crash that left a child dead and his father with major injuries. This happened on Hallandale Beach Boulevard as they were trying to help another driver who was stuck. That driver seen speeding before the crash. Now charged with DUI, Local 10's Rosh Lowe has the exclusive.
Residents without power for a full week.
Still ahead, what's being done at what apartment building to help them with everyday necessities.
And a price hike at Disney World. How much more you'll have to pay to enter the parks.
Just about everybody feeling a chill tonight except Central and South Florida. I'll let you know when we get our turn. Do we get a turn? The forecast is next.
Local 10 weather with Chief Certified Meteorologist Betty Davis. Local 10 News on WSFL-TV is brought to you by BrandSmart USA. Of course, your favorite brands at the lowest prices.
So inflation is affecting a lot more than gas and grocery store prices these days. Admission rates are about to go up at Disney World, the theme park raising prices for the first time since 2019. Beginning December 8th, there will be different prices for each park for one-day passes. On its busiest days, the Magic Kingdom will be the most expensive of Disney World's 4 theme parks, with prices ranging from $124 to $189. Prices for park hopper tickets will vary by date based on demand. The price of most annual passes also increasing.
Some residents of a Miami high-rise that's been without power for more than a week now are being moved to safer accommodations. Local 10's Cody Weddle reports.
All right, let's talk weather because the calendar says fall, but we're still in the grips of summer. But things are about to change.
And Louie is really looking forward to a little cool down, right?
No, we all are, I think.
We got you. We got you covered. We really do. Even tonight, it's not awful out there. Skies are mainly clear. And if you're going to stay up really late tonight to try to see if you can see Artemis 1 blasting off, I think you may get a view of something bright up in the sky. Our skies are mainly clear, so visibility shouldn't be too much of an issue. And doesn't feel too bad to stand out really late tonight, even with dew points running at, in the low 70s. I'm forecasting low temperatures in the low 70s. No rainfall and no huge increase in the cloud cover on tap for later on tonight. Tomorrow morning, we get off to a quiet start, a bright start per our skycast. Plenty of sunshine. Temperatures should quickly start to climb through the 80s. Meantime, tonight, it is chilly in the Panhandle. Pensacola has dropped off to 56 degrees. Chilly air there and colder still across parts of just about everywhere else in the country where we see the shades of blue and purple. 10 degrees right now in Bismarck. There's Memphis, Tennessee at 43. And even in the Northeast, we have these temperatures running in the upper 30s tonight. In fact, temperatures cold enough to support some wintry weather in the form of snow. Notice the snow showers still going across the Great Lakes and some of that stretching out into the Northeast. The chill down we're getting in the Panhandle, we're getting that cool air rolling in on northwest winds, and that is the wind flow behind a cold front that's working across the Panhandle tonight. You'll notice a few showers just ahead of the front as well. Doesn't look as though this front will have a lot of moisture to work with as it heads down the peninsula tomorrow, and as it's approaching us, we'll have our temperatures climbing near record highs tomorrow. But once we push the front through, Thursday we'll start to get some drier, cooler air coming in on north winds. A refreshing breeze to round out the week. The humidity will be a little lower as well, and temperatures will respond to all of that. By Friday morning, forecasting lows in the 60s across parts of Miami-Dade and Broward. So this front is going to serve to get us back to what's normal for this time of the year. And topping out at 88 degrees, which is the forecast for tomorrow, that's not really normal. Our normal high for this time of the year should be in the low 80s, and that front, at least once it passes, should put us there or close enough as soon as Thursday. So here's the 7-day planner. We'll look for a low of 70 Thursday morning, high of 83. Friday, some 60s, and then a high of 80 degrees. And through the weekend, we are increasing the rain chance, but not necessarily increasing our high temperatures all that much. So the trade-off is going to be a few showers, but at least it will be cooler. Louis?
Yeah, it will be. Thank you, Betty. Still ahead, a woman dozed off at an urgent care facility.
When she woke up, she was shocked to find out she was left all alone. That story after the break.
A pumpkin bowl, the fall smoothie bowl recipe you need to try, and we get you up to date with all the real estate trends.
Tomorrow at 2.
An attorney for a North Carolina man is calling for a criminal investigation after video showed officers beating him while he was in custody in Georgia. In the video, 5 officers can be seen entering Jared Hobbs' cell, and one grabs his neck during a struggle. Some of the officers are also seen hitting him in the head. His attorney now calling on the district attorney to bring charges.
A New York security guard is being praised for taking heroic actions in a confrontation with a man armed with an AR-15. Ronaldo Beckford says the gunman wouldn't take his finger off the trigger. Beckford and other guards were eventually able to tackle the suspect and take his gun. That suspect, identified as 48-year-old Jeremy Griffin, is now facing a number of charges.
Authorities at a New York airport say they found $450,000 worth of cocaine in a wheelchair. This happened at JFK Airport, where officers discovered approximately 28 pounds of cocaine stuffed in the wheelchair's wheels of a woman from the Dominican Republic. The woman was turned over to Homeland Security investigations and will face federal narcotic smuggling charges.
A small plane carrying dozens of dogs headed to a shelter crash-landed in Wisconsin. Officials say the twin-engine plane belly landed on the back green of a golf course in Pewaukee today. 3 people on the plane reportedly suffered non-life-threatening injuries, as well as some of the animals. More than 50 rescue dogs on board have since been taken in by a local humane society.
A video of a woman waking up in an empty Alabama urgent care has gone viral. Diane King fell asleep in a waiting room after nurses ran some tests, and when she woke up, she realized everyone had gone home for the night. King says the district manager of American Family Care later called her to apologize, saying this should have never happened.
The mayor of Miami-Dade County is speaking out.
Still ahead, why she says a vote to override her recent veto is short-sighted.
The Jennifer Hudson Show is here. Everybody put your hands together.
Weekdays at 5 on WSFL-TV.
We are getting reaction from the mayor of Miami-Dade County after commissioners agreed to override her veto of an expansion of the urban development boundary. As Local 10's Leanne Motorhone reports, she calls the vote short-sighted. And still ahead, it's being called a breakthrough in the opioid crisis.
Details on a vaccine designed to fight fentanyl. That's coming up after the break.
This is genius.
Jerry O'Connell hosts the world's greatest family party game, Pictionary.
Weekdays at 1:30.
Walmart is seeing an increase in high-income shoppers. The retailer says wealthier customers pinched by inflation are switching to Walmart for their groceries. Experts say it's a sign higher costs are altering shoppers' spending habits, including wealthier shoppers.
A new safety feature for iPhones will let people without service send emergency texts. Apple's Emergency SOS via satellite features allows you to connect to emergency services via satellite when you can't get a cell service or Wi-Fi coverage. It also lets you share your location with friends or family via the Find My Phone app if you're ever traveling off-grid. The feature is available only for iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Pro.
In tonight's HealthCast, prescriptions for stimulants like Adderall have been skyrocketing. A surge in ADHD diagnosis has been driving up demand. Experts say telehealth made it a lot easier to get a prescription during the pandemic, and now there's not enough for those who really need it. Overall, U.S. doctors wrote more than 40 million Adderall prescriptions in 2021. That's up 10% from 2020, according to recent data.
A reminder for parents and caregivers to keep medicine out of the reach of children. The FDA reports a rise in child poisonings linked to a type of prescription cough medicine. Overall, reports to poison control centers involving the drug rose each year from 2010 through 2018. The drug is prescribed to treat coughs caused by colds or the flu. It's not approved for children younger than 10 years old.
And it's being called a potential breakthrough for the opioid epidemic. Researchers at the University of Houston have developed a fentanyl vaccine. They say the experimental vaccine can block the dangerous opioid from entering the brain and leading to abuse. They believe the findings could have a significant impact on opioid misuse. But so far, the vaccine has only been tested on rats. They hope to start human trials soon.
In tonight's Pop Topics, Grammy nominations were announced Tuesday, and Beyonce leads the pack. She received 9 nominations for her album Renaissance, including nods for Record of the Year, for dance anthem Break My Soul and Album of the Year with 28 wins and 88 total career nods. Beyonce now ties her husband, rapper Jay-Z, for the most nominations in Grammy history. The Grammy Awards will take place on February 5th in Los Angeles.
The head judge on Dancing with the Stars is waltzing away. Len Goodman announced Monday night this will be his last season on the show. Goodman has been a fixture on the dance competition since it began in 2005. He is 78 years old and says that he wants to spend more time with his grandchildren and family back in Britain. The audience gave Goodman a standing ovation when he made his announcement. Goodman has watched more than 3,000 performances in his 31 seasons on the show. Wow.
Well, looks like it didn't take long for Pete Davidson to find love again after his breakup with Kim Kardashian. The SNL alum has reportedly began dating model actress Emily Ratajkowski. She's best known for the award-nominated thriller Gone Girl. She and Davidson have reportedly been seen together in New York City. But if that relationship doesn't work out, somebody else is apparently already standing in line to date Davidson next. It's Dionne Warwick, the 81-year-old singer, sharing this tweet that said simply, quote, "I will be dating Pete Davidson next." You go, Dionne.
She's shooting her shot.
Yeah. I bet he knows the way to San Jose. Anyway,
yeah,
Will?
he's getting there. He's working his way. He's working his way there. He'll reach it eventually. Meanwhile, the Panthers on home ice in a playoff rematch from last season. Cats and Caps. We got the highlights for you coming up next in sports.
You're watching Local 10 Sports with Will Manso on WSFL.
Get what's new, what's now, and what's next on the list.
Weekdays on WSFL-TV.
And now it's time for sports.
Well, the last time the Florida Panthers faced the Capitals, they made history, winning their first playoff series since 1996. Tonight, not as much on the line, but these two teams met again in Sunrise. That's a look at sports. More news is coming your way right after this.
Young Sheldon. Weeknights at 7:30 only on WSFL-TV.
In tonight's Wild Florida, we'd like to thank our friends at the Clinic for the Rehabilitation of Wildlife in Sanibel Island for this video of the release of a rehabilitated anhinga, a waterfowl that has an extremely sharp, pointed beak. This female was found with her beak entangled in a sock just a few days ago. So keep up the great work, guys.
And in tonight's Time to Smile, a Pembroke Pines kindergarten teacher going viral for her dance moves. Check her out.
What sound does the letter make?
Emily Allers has amassed nearly 3 million views on TikTok with this video showing her teach the ABCs to her kids at Palm Cove Elementary by dancing to child favorite Gracie's Corner. Allers joked that she swears she has more fun than my kids. Way to go, Miss Allers.
I love that she's so into it.
I don't know the song.
I don't know the song either. But I've seen this cartoon everywhere. I think it's like, it's new now.
Okay.
It's what the kids
It's
now
the
are
new
watching.
Baby Shark.
We're out of the loop. Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, that'll do it for us. Remember our website, local10.com. Always on updating all day and night with the latest headlines.
For more news, Calvin News and Nicole Perez will continue.